నమస్తే అండి. ఆహ్, ఇప్పుడు మనం జనరల్ ఎస్సే టాపిక్ పేపర్ 1 గ్రూప్ 1 మెయిన్స్ ఏపీపీఎస్సీలో అడిగిన ఏదైతే 3 ఎస్సేస్ ఇచ్చారో 3 ఎస్సే క్వశ్చన్స్ వాటి గురించి డిస్కస్ చేద్దాం. సో ఏదైతే నేను ఈ అనాలిసిస్ చేస్తున్నానో ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ ఆ ఎగ్జామ్ ప్రెషర్లో ఎంతవరకు రాయగలిగాను అవే డిస్కస్ చేస్తాను. ఇట్స్ నాట్ లైక్ ఏ హాలిస్టిక్ ఆన్సర్ వాట్ కుడ్ హ్యావ్ బీన్ రిటన్. ఇట్స్ జస్ట్ వాట్ ఐ హ్యావ్ రిటన్ ఇన్స్టెడ్ ఆఫ్ ఏం రాయొచ్చు అనే దానికన్నా నేనేం రాయగలిగాను ఆ టైంలో ఆ క్వశ్చన్స్ చూసి నా బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్లో నేనేం చదువుకొని వెళ్ళాను, అక్కడ ఏం అడిగారు, దాని బేసిస్ మీద ఈ అనాలిసిస్ ఉంటుంది. సో ఇట్స్ నాట్ ఎ ట్రెడిషనల్ వన్. డోంట్ ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ ఎ ట్రెడిషనల్. సో సెక్షన్ వన్ చూసుకుంటే ఈస్ ఇండియాస్ ఫస్ట్ క్వశ్చన్ వచ్చి ఈస్ ఇండియాస్ డిజిటల్ రూపీ అండర్ వర్షన్ ఆఫ్ క్రిప్టో కరెన్సీ, ఎగ్జామిన్ ఇండియాస్ ప్రోగ్రెస్ ఇన్ సెంట్రల్ బ్యాంక్ డిజిటల్ కరెన్సీ అండ్ ఇట్స్ ఇంప్లికేషన్స్. సో ఇట్స్ ఎ వెరీ స్పెసిఫిక్ క్వశ్చన్. ఓకే, హార్డ్లీ ఇది తెలుసుకోవాలంటే ఈస్ ఇండియాస్ డిజిటల్ రూపీస్, ఇట్స్ నాట్ ఏ క్రిప్టో కరెన్సీ. సో దీన్ని ఎంత ఎక్స్పాండ్ చేసినా నాకు 1 పారా రాయగలుగుతానేమో. అండ్ ఇక్కడ సెకండ్ కూడా ఎగ్జామిన్ ద ఇండియాస్ ప్రోగ్రెస్ ఆన్ సెంట్రల్ బ్యాంక్ డిజిటల్ కరెన్సీ. సో ఇట్స్ నాట్ టాకింగ్ అబౌట్ digital currency, or it's not talking about digital banking, or it's not talking about digital inclusion or financial inclusion. It's talking about India's progress on central bank digital currency. So it's a very specific question. Unless మనకు స్పెసిఫికల్లీ ఈ పాయింట్స్ గురించి తెలిస్తే తప్ప ఈ క్వశ్చన్ని మనం టచ్ చేయకూడదు. సెకండ్, ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్ is the first state in India to have established village secretariats, thereby signaling a march towards achieving Gandhian ideals. In this connection, discuss the pioneering work of Grama Sachivalayam in revolutionary governance. This is a very basic question. Third one, India's 5th largest economy in the world. Can India further aim to top by engaging cooperative movements? So again, it's a very specific question. It's not asking about how India can leap ahead, move ahead and move forward from becoming 5th largest economy. Rather, it's talking about role of cooperative movement in doing that. That's a very specific question. I forgot to tell the brief, the topics that I revised, in Telegram groups or in various groups. Topics ఏంటంటే G20, population growth, okay, artificial intelligence, and people are also discussing about environmental issues, climate change, okay, and I think they also spoke about G20 and artificial intelligence, something, very other questions. Population is one, and also millets. So these are the topics that most of them were expecting. I also expected, I studied like anything with respect to G20, artificial intelligence, but somehow those help. I can't say that those topics I lost it in, but sometimes it got useful in my subsequent answers. So I choose Andhra Pradesh is the first state in India to have established village secretariats. Okay, basically I started with on how 2019 YS Jagan became CM, Honorable Chief Minister announced a landmark pioneering reform called village secretariat, establishing 15,000 plus village secretariats with a staff of around 1.5 lakh people in order to provide decentralized governance in the footsteps of Gandhian Gram Swaraj. Okay, that's a basic definition I wrote, and then I wrote signaling the march towards Gandhian Swaraj, okay, and how it played a pioneering work in revolutionizing the governance in Andhra Pradesh. So I just wrote previously, in order to access to any government services, it has suffering of various issues like corruption, okay, red tapeism, okay, delay in grievance redressal, okay, last mile connectivity, and government were suffering due to these issues. But somehow with coming of Gram Sachivalayams, okay, for every 50 houses or something like that, we have volunteers and the network of Gram Sachivalayam, which could cater wide range of services to people at the doorstep. So that's how they revolutionized. And then I started writing about each aspect, in providing grievance redressal, how they played a key role in grievance redressal, and how they played a key role in health. I spoke about their role in COVID, okay, and also and spoke about Manabadi, not Manabadi, it's like Nadu Naidu, constructing of various PHCs in vaccination, in immunization program, vaccination, zero surveys, various ways, they brought decentralized health governance. And I also spoke about how they revolutionized education, okay, and also I spoke about how revenue administration, how they revenues, and also I spoke about law and order issues, and also I spoke about how gender sensitive governance or women centric administration, women led administration, because most around half of the people recruited belong to women category, okay. And then I spoke about various other aspects like land revenue is one thing, grievance redressal, health, education. I exactly cannot remember what I wrote, but I briefly I wrote on these aspects, how they brought revolutionizing in accountability as well, and last mile connectivity in governance, okay, doorstep delivery of services, and then how they revolutionized health agriculture sector, how the Gram Sachivalayam in coordination with Raitu Bharosa Kendras, how they are trying to bring decentralized solutions to farmers. So in this way, I don't know this is the right answer or not, but I have written this. So I wrote Gram Sachivalayam in revolutionizing governance. Discuss the opening work of Gram Sachivalayam in revolution. That is the reason why I chose to, because I had no clear answers for this. But I had no choice to write this. So while writing this, I have followed the approach that how they revolutionized governance in various ways. So governance, it refers to how coordination role, how they play coordination role, okay, various aspects of governments, okay, and also I spoke about how women sensitive various sectors of government are health, education, how they revolutionize, okay, social sector, and grievance redressal, accountability mechanism, okay, and ease of governance. And these are all the various aspects I spoke. I don't know whether this is the demand of the answer, but I have chose to write this because now I have no other choice. If I choose this or choose this, I'm going to get less than this. So that's why I chose to write in the last, like around, I started this answer like around 12:10, I guess. Around 12:10 p.m. I started this writing this answer. Okay, whatever I had the facts, I presented it. So this is what I have written as far as this is concerned. So coming to section 2, okay, I have written this second essay that I have written is this one. So as far as section 2 is concerned, the question they asked was, the world is now in the middle of new mobility revolution. Examine India's efforts at accelerating deployment of electric vehicles. So this is a very specific question. It's not regarding renewable energy, or it's not regarding solar. It's specifically regarding electric vehicle revolution. It's regarding mobility revolution. Again, it's a very specific essay where you can have 200, 250, 50 markers, 20 marker questions, but to answer 50 marker question, it's a challenge. So I chose not to attempt this. I also know I know various FAME scheme. I know various schemes regarding batteries, regarding retail sector benefits and all those things. But somehow I chose to refuse to write this, and I saw India possesses a countless number of soft power resources that could prove greatly beneficial if harnessed properly. In this connection, examine India's soft power, its challenges and opportunities. Okay, it's a good one. And also coming to C, Ek Bharat Shrestha Bharat is a call to forge national integration and spirit of collective concern. Examine whether India has succeeded to rise above the forces from prejudice. Again, it's a very sensitive question. Even it's an emotional question. Okay, sometimes in writing these emotional questions, we may go out of words or we may go out of scope. We may not be able to answer all the 360-degree approach. So that's why I chose soft power. See, I basically knew that this is a post RR phenomena. There have been many articles, discussions that have been coming up in newspapers. One who studies regularly newspapers who can see that post RRR India soft power has risen, and everybody talked about what Joseph Nye spoke about soft power. So I have only brief idea about what is soft power. So I just just saw soft power was given by Joseph Nye. Okay, he is American political scientist who coined the term this soft power, and he said that. And basically I started introduction writing about RR movie. Okay, I just started RR movie has bagged two Oscars bagged Oscar awards for his famous song Natu Natu. Okay, post this there has been an increasing demand for consumption of Telugu movies, or demand for Indian film industry has increased. As a result, it has increased the economic opportunities for the producers and Indian film industry. Okay, so through this soft power, Indian business in movie industry could increase its potential. Something on these lines I have written. I can't just replicate what I have written. So this is what I have written. So I began with RR movie. Then I spoke that Joseph Nye coined the term soft power, and I just briefly wrote that. So it's the power of a nation to influence its power in international relations. Okay, so it can be in the form of like arts, culture, okay, like music, drama, cinema. It can be regarding tourism, it can be regarding philosophy, okay, it can be regarding various any other aspects, sports. Okay, so using this I just briefly wrote about this, what soft power is, and I also wrote about recently India has been gaining so much influence through its soft power. Then I wrote India has immense potential. So if you see the question, they asked, India possesses countless number of soft power resources that could prove greatly if harnessed properly. Okay, then we have to say immense potential. So I just put immense potential of soft power, this basic brief subheading. Then I spoke about how how I wrote Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan, Africa, how the Bollywood and Tollywood industry is influencing people to people contacts between the nations. And then I wrote about democracy. Okay, now we can see that I wrote about how India is largest democracy, and I also spoke how Indians, diaspora, are influencing the American policies. For example, in recent Donald Trump elections, the issue regarding H1B visa played a key role in American democratic elections. Even Rishi Sunak, the recent UK Prime Minister, couldn't ignore the vote bank of Indians. So such is the power of Indian diaspora. And then we can also I can also speak about points regarding sports. How cricket connects different people across the countries. And then I also spoke about influence in international policies. Okay, I spoke about June 21 Yoga Day. Okay, Then millets, year of millets. Okay, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Okay, how G20 is themed on people's G20. So how international relations and UNFCCC conferences, how India is trying to influence through its soft power. Okay, and then we can also speak about tourism. Oh, Incredible India campaign, played a key role in harnessing soft power. So these are the various things I wrote. So it offers an immense potential. And then the next question was examine India's soft power, its challenges and opportunities. Then immediately I put what are the different challenges and opportunities. So I wrote brief heading of what is challenges, and then I spoke about various issues. For example, then I spoke about various challenges, like around 3 to 4, some points, and in opportunities I spoke about various opportunities what India is going to get. For example, how it's going to impact its economy, okay, how it's going to impact the democratic values, how it's going to impact the climate change, where it can focus on harnessing climate change, and also various multilateral institutions, how to promote using soft power. So these are the various opportunities. I exactly do not remember, నాకైతే అసలు గుర్తులేదు ఏం రాశాను, but briefly my approach was this. Okay, and then I concluded that how India's soft power must complement with the military and economic power in order to make India a developed country by 2047, something on these lines regarding sustainable development G20, something I cannot remember exactly. So coming to section 3, and see again, examine the challenges and progress of gender equality and women's rights in the world since 1995, Beijing Declaration Platform for Action. Again, it's a very specific question. He's not talking about gender equality. He's talking about gender equality, women's rights, but since 1995 Beijing Declaration. Okay, so challenges and progress. So again, it's an easy question if framed properly, if you have some idea regarding Beijing Declaration Platform for Action. Even if you do not know with respect to Beijing Declaration Platform for Action, one can write some generic stuff regarding Beijing Declaration Platform and can write various challenges that are associated with gender equality, and then they can also go on and what progress they have made in terms of gender equality since 1995. That is the major issue here. So I chose to ignore, and beauty is truth is beauty, and with the time constraint I did not want to attempt this, so I ignored this. If you see the other one, India is the second largest urban system in the world. In this connection, examine whether India is equipped with adequate urban planning and governance. So I chose the second. This is the first essay I have written. Okay, I started around like 10:15 a.m. So it was a big blunder during that day. So I initially started at the back foot. Okay, so it was very difficult to choose the questions. So if they would have asked some very obvious questions, then it would have been easy, but they've asked very specific questions, which is the biggest challenge in writing the essays. So I chose urban system. Then I started simply like okay, India is the largest economy, $1 trillion economy or something like that. Then I spoke about some 2011 census. I spoke about 2011 census, where 377 million people are staying in urban areas, and by 2050 or something it will be around 600 million people. Okay, which is the biggest challenge for any urban infrastructure. Okay, and India is going to become a biggest urbanized state or something, blah blah blah. And this is a very brief introduction. So it's been around 20 days, I guess, that I have written this essay. So I exactly do not remember the points, but somehow I'll share whatever I have written. Then what I did was, in this connection exam in India secured adequate planning and governance. Yeah. Then I spoke about urban planning, existing urban planning systems. Okay. So urban planning system, I think I wrote about DPC, MPC, regarding Metropolitan Planning Committee, District Planning Committee. Okay. Then I also spoke about various planning systems. Okay. Some parastatal agencies like Delhi Development Authority, Ahmedabad Development Authority, exact. Okay, there are various corporations that deal with planning as well. So I wrote about few aspects of this, and then I wrote about existing urban governance. So then I spoke about how the urban systems, various multiple urban bodies are there. We can I think it's municipal corporations, municipal councils. I wrote about townships, metropolitan areas, okay, industrial townships, okay, and then various urban areas based on geography and the number of population are situated. We have divided into urban governance institutions, and multiple agencies are involved. Okay, for example, we have for sewage one body, okay, for roads we have one body, R&B department, for sanitation, irrigation, okay, drinking water and supply, okay, and we have and a few other bodies for urban planning and governance as well. So we have multiple systems, okay, multiple parastatal agencies which are running parallelly with Panchayat Raj and urban Panchayat Raj institutions. Okay, these are some various so next question next part they asked was whether the present urban planning and governance system, whether India is equipped with adequate planning and governance. Obviously India is not having an adequate good planning and governance structure. Then immediately I spoke about what are the challenges with the present system, how, and then I was just saying that how we do not have an adequate infrastructure and system like that. So then I wrote about what are the challenges that we are facing with present urban planning and governance systems. Then I wrote few points with respect to Panchayat institutions, with respect to multiple bodies. We have special purpose vehicles for smart cities, okay, we have metropolitan bodies, okay, we have municipal corporations, and also we do not have an integrated planning, holistic planning approach. Whole of government approach is lacking, okay, and then we have various other issues with regarding solid waste management, electricity, mobility, okay, in order to manage the pressures, good health, education sector, health, education, okay, township planning, housing, okay, urban slums, okay, proliferation of urban slums, okay, outgrowths, city outgrowths, okay, and then semi-urban areas, peri-urban areas. So some points I've written regarding these challenges, and then and how we need to needs to increase the capacity of urban planning and governance system. So again one small heading, and then I wrote how to improve with these things. With respect to, I just wrote remedial measures that needs to be taken to improve the urban planning system governance in order to match the demands of the rising society. So smart cities is one thing, okay, urban planning, okay, facilities, one respect to urban planning, one respect to facilities, one respect to administration, okay, one respect to security, law and order security. So various other aspects that I have written, whether India is equipped with rising demand for urbanization. And then basically, and in the end I concluded that sustainable development goals 11 and 13, something I do not exactly remember, but in the exam I wrote the numbers like sustainable cities for number around I think 11 or 12, which speak about how to ease of living, sustainable cities and all this. So I included basic definitions there, basic points regarding those things, and how sustainable cities can be made. So I do not remember exactly what I have written, but on basing on these lines only I have framed my answers. But I can guarantee say that these topics are like bit more specific, pinpointed. Okay, which can be answered as a 20 marker question, not as an essay. Okay, but that's how the exam. So it can be pretty much, we can say that it is comparatively difficult than the previous papers. Okay, previous essays were much more open-ended and much more generic in approach. As a result, we can write more number of points. But in this essay paper, the questions were more of a specific oriented. That's why it became difficult to frame answers to to connect various points. So considering the easiest part, this Gram Sachivalayam appears easier, but as you go on writing, you say that okay, what is the revolutionizing thing that they have got. So you always feel that you have written very much less with respect to Gram Sachivalayam, and with respect to soft culture, we always feel that I have less points, and with respect to urban system, it's a very complicated essay. That's how my experience was. I don't know like how much I will be getting. Hope that examiner gives me good marks. Thank you.